I like lime green guns.
This one's bright red.
What's going on, everybody? We're the Cinefanatics. My name is Chris Adams.
I'm Robert Adams.
And today, we are doing our movie review for John Wick 3.
Parabellum.
Yeah.
John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum.
The word isn't really that hard to say. I just like messing around.
Yeah.
The question at this point is, do you believe in the Baba Yaga?
By the third one, you better.
Yep. He's coming.
So, we just got out of this, and just keeping it real short, I believe. First of all, there's no spoilers in this review, so...
There's no spoilers in the movie either, so don't worry about it.
There's no spoilers anywhere. I thought the story was really good. For a third movie, and the one thing I do like about the story so far with these movies is, I mean, other than like all of them are pretty much like just a revenge flick.
Yeah, more or less.
For that being a very by-the-book revenge flick in each one of these movies, the story is still good.
That's the thing, is that you go into this movie, you've seen the first one, you've seen the second one, the story is building. Mm-hmm. They've done a little bit of world building in the first two, and it's like it's a Lego wall that they keep putting pieces on as it goes. So you get more and more understanding of what this world of assassins is like and what's really going on in the upper echelon of assassindom.
The thing I like to compare it to, which is going to sound all kinds of funny, is the Matrix movies. And yeah, I know, Keanu Reeves, Lawrence Fishburne, whatever. That the first Matrix movie set up the world of the Matrix. We learn how everything interacts within this universe that they're setting up.
It gives your hero the reason to be involved in what's going on.
Yes, and then the second and third movie, regardless of the fact of your opinion on how they pulled that off, it took that story set up in the first one and expanded upon it.
Yeah.
This is kind of the same idea, only I think they did it a little bit better. The follow-through was more well done than the Matrix.
It's a little more realistic, give or take some physics in places, but
they took the thing that was introduced in the first movie, introducing you to this world of assassins, added a couple more things in the second one, and built the story, which I would say this movie, coupled with the second one, is a part of one giant story.
Yeah. So like your first couple movies leading into this one, you're finding out that most of this that's happening takes place in about a week of John Wick's life or so, give or take. There's maybe some more time involved in this movie, but the fact of the matter is this dude's having a crappy week.
Yeah.
But I will preface a lot of what I want to say about the story and everything with, I'm not really into hyper-violence. That's part of the reason why I don't like horror movies, especially like the really violent ones, obviously. And this movie, they've stepped it up a little bit. This movie's a lot more brutal than the first two. And the first two, it's just a bunch of gunshots and whatnot. This one, there's some scenes in there that are a little bit not for the squeamish.
I know,
I would say.
I loved it.
This freak over here loved it. But for me, it was pushing my boundaries, and it's making me really, really want this story to end now.
Yeah, but that leads us into what, in my opinion, one of the best things about this movie, and it's going to sound weird. This is a everything to the wall action movie. Just, blood, sweat, tears, everything.
It leaves everything on the table for you.
And the best thing about this movie is the choreography.
Yes.
That the fight scenes are so well choreographed. They're smooth, they're buttery, it's just nice shots. I absolutely loved it. Like, you see everything. Not like a Transformers movie where you can't see whose arm or leg or machine or whatever.
They don't do the cuts in this movie. You don't get things hidden. You see it all happening.
It's well lit. It actually does at some points feel like it's kind of slowed down just a bit, just for the ease of the viewer to be able to follow what's going on.
And that doesn't take away from it. That's funny, because even in the scenes where the whole place is dark, it's still actually well lit for the fighting.
Mm-hmm. If an arm gets bent, twisted, pulled, yanked, or whatever, you can see that.
I feel like they even went to as far as, this room is dark, let's turn on some lights.
Yeah.
And then let's fight.
Yeah.
Which, for the sake of choreography, great. Simple, quick shots. Not even quick shots. It's smooth shots that don't even cut. yeah, you just see everything, and it's just done so well.
It reminds me a lot of like really well done, other well done fighting movies. Particularly the one scene, and I know it kind of helped inspire John Wick, was Old Boy. The shot of fighting down that corridor with the men with the hammer and stuff. Just one beautiful action shot.
Yeah.
Now that was done in a profile shot in one take, which is great. This obviously is not profile one take, but it's that kind of attention to the detail of the choreography that they used in Old Boy. Same kind of thing, and it was gorgeous here.
Yeah, and they stepped it up. I mean, this is the reason you come to the John Wick movies. You come for these fight scenes. The story is building. The story is getting really good now, and honestly, the story is actually what's drawing me to these movies, because I just want the best for John. He's killing a bunch of fools, but that's okay. I just want the best for John.
And he was just minding his own business, and he lost his dog and his car.
Fool just shot his puppy.
Oh, jeez. Speaking of which, there's dogs in this movie.
Yeah, so let's touch on a couple of things that we think are the best parts of the movie. One of them is the dogs. It was Halle Berry's dogs, Sophia's dogs in the movie. Mm-hmm. Those two, you saw a bit of them in the trailer, where they're kind of like running and jumping at some fools.
Those two are awesome.
Those dogs were fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I want dogs like that, and I'm a cat lover, so...
Yeah, I mean, the amount of hours that it takes to train dogs to do what she was having them do in that movie. Yeah, so the performance of those particular animals, like, I don't even know if... There's maybe like one scene where I feel like there's a little bit of CGI, just based on what they needed the dog to do for that scene. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, I don't think there was a single ounce of CG used for those dogs.
I don't think so either.
They just did everything. Which, again, the choreography, even in dogs, is why you go to the John Wick movie.
Falls in line with that.
I think the other thing that I really enjoyed was actually, if you remember seeing in the trailer, it's Mark Dacascos' character. For those of you who don't know, he had a bunch of movies that he's been involved in.
He did like a lot of older movies. At one point, there was a Crow TV show that he was in. Mm-hmm. And then he was more recently more famous for being the chairman in Iron Chef America.
Duck!
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the secret ingredient. But his character, I loved his character. Like, yeah, he's antagonistic, fine, but... Like, you're first introduced to his character, you think he's one way, and he's just such a... I don't know if lovable is the right term, because, again, he's antagonistic. But I loved him. But
he definitely... It was definitely a... I don't know how to describe it. It was a different type of character than what you would be used to seeing him play.
Yeah, especially if, like, you're used to, like, Iron Chef or something, where he's just like...
But even in Iron Chef, he plays this hardcore, straight, but with a twist.
Yeah,
and I think this movie kind of takes that and built on it.
Yeah, so it's really tailored to who he is as an actor, and for that I really enjoyed his character in this movie.
So suffice to say, there is a decent amount of humor in this movie.
There is.
Enough to break some of the tension, just because as fun as an action movie as this is, it can get a bit monotonous if all you're doing is seeing fools just getting killed left and right all the time for 2 hours.
It's so exhausting.
We need something to break that tension.
Yeah. And they do a really good job with that here and there. Like, there's places where they're just kind of like, boom, here's a joke, and I think every single bit of humor in this movie lands.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a single bit of humor that was like, that felt out of place. It all felt right in line with what was happening.
Which was funny, because, I mean, this is a movie where it comes from a series, like, with Keanu Reeves, and Keanu Reeves has had kind of like a reputation in his acting throughout these movies.
Yeah, so a lot of people have said, like, specifically with these movies, in maybe some of his other films, that he is very wooden. And honestly, I do agree with that.
Keanu Reeves is wooden?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's very wooden in these movies. You can hate me below in the comments for the poor interpretation or imitation, whatever. But, yeah, and I think now by this third one, he's actually settling into the character of who John Wick is, and that character is wooden. That's just the character of John Wick.
I mean, that might be how it's portrayed, but it is fully possible that a person is just wooden in their personality. I know a couple in real life.
And I think what that translates to for John Wick is that he's just battle hardened.
Yeah.
He's just had to kill off so much of his, that leads into why he is the way he is in these movies, because his wife died and the last remnant of her, that puppy, was killed brutally.
And it's like he's got that 1,000-yard stare, but he has to keep moving, so he just can't stop and stare.
Yeah, he doesn't have time to feel emotion or anything. He has to keep moving. And so I think now, like, he's really warmed up to who this character is, who John Wick is, and I think this is actually Keanu Reeves' best performance in the entire series so far. Yeah. I think he's had enough time to play in this character that he's just full force in this movie, and he's got a lot more lines in this one than he has in the past couple ones. And they play off a lot better this time.
Yeah, they do. So, overall, what would you say your opinion, what you would rate this movie?
For me, like, here's the thing. So, I, again, am not a hyper-violent person, so and this is not coming from the direction of recognizing art and everything. I think there's a lot that's artistic, especially, as we said, in the choreography, but the violence doesn't work for me.
I thought the violence was artistic.
Well, and I know I'll probably get a little bit of hate for that response, but I would give it a 3.5 just because I feel super exhausted. I'm ready for the series to end, but if they're going to make another one, I'm ready for another one. Sure, fine. So I'd give it a 3.5. I'd say little puppies.
Little puppies? Really?
Puppies. Yeah. You can find a transparent puppy to put down.
So 3.5 out of 5, huh? I mean, I agree somewhat with the feelings of it. I like this movie. I actually feel like I like this one more than I liked the second one. I thought this one was fleshed out a lot more. It was very clear cut on what it was trying to achieve. I'm probably going to go with 4 out of 5 little puppies. So,
yeah, I mean, the story is what's going to keep me coming back, not necessarily the violence. I do actually enjoy the choreography and the action of it, what they actually put into that. But for the most part, if you're into high-octane action, if you're into that super stylized choreography, martial arts, there's a lot of that here. Just fighting in general in these movies, you're going to love this movie. If you love the first two, you're going to love this movie. That's what you're looking at for John Wick 3.
Parabellum.
Yep, I can still say the word, I just choose not to.
Anyways, that's going to be our review for this. What did you think? Have you seen the movie? What did you think of the movie? Let us know down below. And what did you think of this review? Let us know down below about that as well. Did you like it? Hit like. If you didn't like it, don't hit dislike.
That's not an option.
Yeah. Also, above our heads, there is a subscribe button. Over here off to the side are a couple other videos that we have made. And as always,
never bring a gun to a knife fight.
No.
Not with John Wick.
Later.
See ya. Video is over. End it. I am Keanu Reeves. That's my John Wick impression, right?